Microphone was moved. Who moved the microphone? What's going on? Damn, I was doing so good. I stopped sniffing. Like, I can't help it. It's green, right? Susan, swear to God. Thank you. Fuck. Oh, damn, it ain't been 10 minutes. I said fruff. I don't even know how that algorithm works. What's going on, beautiful people? How y'all doing? The computer's really, really loud right now. I think it's because I'm gonna talk some derogatory things about that new MacBook. I'm really not impressed. So tough noogies. That's how I feel. So I'm having to Streamlabs. So we might have a terrible feed today. All right, let's get into today's show. Remember, if this is your first time watching or you're just being a part of the studio audience, per usual, welcome back. Again, if you're new, you're part of the studio audience on YouTube. So head over to YouTube, comment, talk, and whatnot, and check out what we got going. The clips seem to be kind of taking off. They're more digestible versions of the show. This has become a news show. We're up there with the news. Like, I'm Walter Cronkite, the Puerto Rican Walter Cronkite. I'm Kasabian Cronkite, and you're going to see the journey of Kasabian Cronkite. But welcome back. Like, subscribe. Please subscribe. Tell somebody about the page. Things like that. I'll tell you why I wasn't here on Friday. I'll tell you why I didn't make it to the show on Saturday. I will tell you what has been going on, and we'll get into all the topics today. And this show's brought to you by Adobe because I spent so much money with Adobe. I wish I had a good joke today. I've been knee-deep in human excrement because it hasn't been 10 minutes yet on YouTube. But God, when it's 10 minutes, I'm going to go nuts. Oh, yeah, we're playing some super Spanish music today. Cáele, cabrón. Compita. If you can't hear the music, you're watching. If you want to listen to the music, head over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify and you can listen to the music. Hold on. If I don't do it now, I'm going to never do it. Boom, boom, boom. Thank you. Welcome back. It's Kasabian Lavoe Show. What's going on, beautiful people? What's going on, beautiful people? My name's Kasabian Lavoe. Welcome back to the Kasabian Lavoe Show, live from Las Vegas. This is episode 247, 246, 240-something. Susan! Nobody wrote it down. I'm sorry. Welcome back to the Kasabian Lavoe Show, where we have changed over and over and over until our final Super Saiyan form, and now we're a news station. Now it's just a matter of like me figuring out how big or how little this whole studio is going to be, and how long I'm going to do this for shuckles and fucking pennies. But we'll talk about that another time. I'm over here negotiating with creditors. Hey, let me tell you something. One of my biggest mistakes was going cash. Like, I bought a couple houses, stacked all my money, was doing really well, and then went cash. Just completely stopped using credit, bought a bunch of shit cash, and it ruined my life. Borrow all the fucking money you can. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. That's the game. Borrow as much as you can for as cheap as you can, and watch how life is so much easier that way. Don't borrow more than you can, but borrow as much as you can. Do you understand the difference? Don't borrow more than you can. But if they're offering you 15, take 15. If they're offering 20, take 20. Who gives a shit? Let them offer. Probably one of the biggest tricks that they hit us with was credit, and to be scared of it and not understand it. Fuck that. Embrace it. Use that shit up. Just don't go to Rent-A-Center. Don't do that. And get away from like 30% interest rates. They're ridiculous. On today's show, we'll be talking about Colin Powell. Rest in peace to the almighty and powerful Colin Powell. The only reason I say that is because that man went to war and that man won. Because of him, we won a war. So that man is a very, very powerful man. Rest in peace to the great Colin Powell. Last night was the Verzus with Krs One and Big Daddy Kane. If anybody watched what I watched, then we got a conversation on our hands. But we'll get into that when we get into that. The new MacBook Pro is ass, and I'm going to stand by it. But I'm still going to go buy one. So there goes me. Seattle just doesn't seem to understand that if there's no police, nothing works. Remember when they said that they don't want government, and the first thing that they did was put up a fence, create borders and government. And now they want to get rid of the police. We'll talk about that. So I've talked about real estate because I'm a realtor, and we talk about business all the time. And Zillow is changing the game once again. And they're not buying more houses. They're actually slowing down buying houses. And we'll talk about what that means for us in the market and what that means for just everybody in general. Things are slowing down all over the place. Dan Bilzerian, let me tell you something. He's been doing a run because of his new book, and I'm kind of like the guy. We'll talk about it. Demi Lovato, complete moron, doesn't know nothing about nothing. She needs it. Deplatform that thing. Fuck out of here. Cuba Gooding Jr. is a big nasty, and he's got a trial coming up. China was testing a bomb, but they didn't call it a bomb. They said it was a rocket ship, but nobody believed them. Kourtney and Travis are now engaged, and they might be changing the 600 to 10K. All that more on today's episode of the Kasabian Lavoe Show. And we'll just jump right into this Colin Powell. Like, honestly, rest in peace to Colin Powell. There's a pull quote I have here from the Washington Post. I really wanted to pay my respects to Colin Powell because I understand what that man meant to America, what that man meant to our history. If you don't know what he means to America and our history, I do suggest you do your Googles and do your research. Maybe eventually when the show gets bigger, we'll do more in-depth backgrounds, and we'll do just maybe longer form shows, but at the moment we're still trying to keep it compact and get as many people here as we can. So understand that there's a lot more that this person has definitely accomplished, and this comes from we're still using the touchscreen teleprompter. This is from the Washington Post. Colin L. Powell, who helped guide the United I don't know why this is every fucking time, helped guide the United States military to victory in 1991's Persian Gulf War as chairman of Joint Chief of Staff, then struggled a decade later over the U.S. invasion of Iraq as here's a big word, belligerent Secretary of State under President George W. Bush, died October 18th at 84. The cause were complications of COVID-19. His family said in a statement he has been treated at Walter Reed National. If you didn't know, that's where pretty much everybody that's in government goes to the Walter Reed Medical Center. His family added nothing had been done. He was fully vaccinated. A longtime aide, Peggy, that's a hard last name, I'm just going to skip it, told the Associated Press that Mr. Powell had been treated in recent years for multiple myeloma, a form of blood cancer. I'm pretty sure I said that wrong, and I apologize because I got skin cancer, and I'd be upset if somebody said that wrong. That can impair the body's ability to fight infection. If you know anything about COVID basically ramps up your fighting mechanism. So with him having that stunted issue there, you could understand why. And then he's 84, so you got to understand that time wasn't necessarily on his side, and definitely sad to see him go. That was a great man. He wrote a lot of books. Check him out and see what you learn from him. He definitely was a different face in the White House and a different face in Congress, and it was good to see when that did happen. And I hope we see more people of color up there making change. So last night was Krs One and Big Daddy Kane. If you watched it, let me just break down what I saw. And I love both of these guys. I like when old heads talk about hip hop and they're like, Chris Rock is what I feel like my Uncle Simon would talk to me like if we talked hip hop, right? Because Chris Rock's, I like Houdini. I like that. Like, nobody today would even be able to even understand what that reference is. And it's fucked up. Something happened last night that really hurt my feelings, right? Like, I feel like we should evolve as a human. We should evolve as a people. We should evolve, period. Krs One looked like he stepped out of the 90s still. I could appreciate it, and I understand where he's coming from. I've seen him. We've done graffiti together. I get it. I get it. Like, 15 years ago, I get it. Today, you're a god in hip-hop. We expect something different. It wasn't the KRS that I wanted to see. I didn't want to see backpack KRS. You understand? I wanted to see. Hold on a second. I don't even know why this is up. All right. I wanted to see like upper echelon KRS, like beautiful locks with like hip hop grease or some shit and some type of like just amazing everything, right? And then like show maybe passing the torch. None of that really happened. There's a couple of freestyles that were going crazy. Now I will say this, for men their age, for pioneers of this game, they are still sharp as fucking Ginzu blades. Young boys, don't be fooled. Them old dudes are with the shits. And I'm very, 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 very impressed with how they even maintain breath control and everything that happened. Okay, KRS is like an MC that performs with the crowd. Unfortunately, that doesn't translate through the screen. So on TV, it looked like the Big Daddy Kane show featuring Krs One. From what I hear in the building, it looked like the Krs One show featuring Big Daddy Kane. So take it with a grain of salt and how you want to take it. I mean, you got to perform to both. You got to figure out how to make both work. Maybe, I don't know, maybe better microphones in the crowd just to make it feel different, maybe to get more impact through the TV. I'm not really sure how they could really change that, but nonetheless, that's how it came off. Then you got Crazy Legs out there. Crazy Legs got kicked out of the Olympics for that nasty shit he was doing, sending dick pics and shit and fucking with like young kids. So why was he even out there and okay to even be out there? Like, don't they know what's going on with him? The Olympics kicked him out because of that nasty shit. Just with like that whole Africa Bombada and all that nasty old hip hop shit that happened. Like, these people should have like remembered that. Like, I don't give a fuck who he is, bro. He's a nasty man, and that shit is not okay. So you see a bunch of breakdancers come out. You see the DJs going at each other, which was awesome, right? Because Kid Capri is dope, Scratch is dope. You see them kind of going back and forth. KRS is arguing and barking on Scratch. Yo, all in all, great verses. What did I learn? Old dudes can still move, and you know, if I wanted to watch a bunch of old dudes argue about whatever they had issues with, I would have watched, I mean, like a sitcom. But it wasn't that. It was actually very respectable. Big Daddy Kane, for sure, I can't say this. Big Daddy Kane, he's that motherfucker. You know that? Like, Big Daddy Kane is that dude, bro. He never let that go. KRS One's a backpacker, and it showed. Like, he aged as a backpacker, and I know a lot of backpackers, so shout out to KRS. Chris did his thing. Big Daddy Kane to me won. Yeah, he don't have enough songs, or at least as many songs as KRS, but nonetheless, it just looked better on camera. In the building, it went a different way. I think we should have seen some more young guys come out. We should have seen some young B-boys. We should have seen some young rappers. I mean, these guys never reach out, man. It was a weird time. Like, I remember when hip-hop was so segregated that it was like, oh, boom bap, the new guys, the this, the that, and we all wouldn't fuck with each other. And now you see that everybody kind of works with one another, and you know, hip-hop's a beautiful family now. I'm jealous of what hip-hop became. I kind of wish I would have been in hip-hop later on in my career and not as early as I did, because it was a lot of hatred in hip-hop. A lot of hatred. So today they unveiled the MacBook Pro, the new MacBook. Still no touchscreen. It looks the same, sounds the same, does all the same shit. I don't know what to tell you guys. It does look like a powerhouse. I will be purchasing it. Hey, anybody wants to buy us a MacBook for the show? Go for it, because I need something to travel with. And 3,500 or whatever that thing is, yeah, I got it. I just don't, let's just see if we can do something different. I swear I've been trying to do this donation shit for like fucking months, and it just doesn't stick. But no, dead ass. The new MacBook is a very, very powerful tool. I'm not even going to take that away from it. I think the MacBook is a very, very great thing. I've been a MacBook user and owner since 2013. So like I got 5, 7. If Apple made a camera, this whole show would be on Apple camera. This show runs on iMacs. This show runs on iPhones. This show runs on Apple TVs. It's all Apple. Like, Apple should sponsor this show through and through. But if we don't have a touchscreen on that fucking laptop anytime soon, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. Just give me a goddamn touchscreen, please. So, Cuba Gooding Jr., I don't know if y'all remember those some videos where he was like at a club and he starts grabbing these ladies' titties. Just randomly was like, what's up? I'm Cuba Gooding Jr. Radio. Remember me? So, he's going to court. This happened in New York at a club on tape. And he just like casually, not really casually, they were sitting there and like grabbed her on her titties and he walked out like nothing happened. He's going to court for that in February, and I didn't really want to get into it. I just thought it was fucking weird. It was strange. He was very, very drunk and bold as fuck to just like grab some titties and bounce. Like, all right, I guess. That was strange. It really was. The China story scares the shit out of me. So I have an update. Remember, the government was saying that anything over $600 in your bank, they would basically check every single thing you did. Well, they might as well just say, we're going to go through your bank account and look through every single thing you do because we just want to. But I guess people are saying the story is going around in Congress. They're trying to push it to 10,000. What they're saying is that they feel like it's too invasive or they're using a lot of words that don't mean shit. They just want to see every single thing you do so that they could tax us and get the money back for all the money they spent because they're not doing this properly. And unfortunately, you're just watching shit fall apart because of it. Head over to klavoe.com and go pick up one of these Kasabian Lavoe hoodies. We partnered up with Champion. Oh no, we got rid of that one. We don't even have this one up anymore. My bad. Go get yourself what's going on, beautiful people hoodie. They're pink and brown. Go get you one of those exclusively at klavoe.com and subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and head over to YouTube and chit chat with us. Dan Bilzerian has a book coming out, and I was actually really the guy's captivating. Damn it, I hate to admit it, but the dude is like a cool fucking guy. Yeah, he's a fucking goof, and I don't believe none of his bullshit stories. And probably he did bang a bunch of chicks, but that's not why I like him. Like, that's why kids like him. I just think the dude was cool. Like, I heard him talking and shit, and I was like, maybe he really is misunderstood. Because here's the problem: talk all the shit you want. He did live in that big ass house. He did have all them hoes. He did have the cars, or has. Even if he's flying jets, he's renting out his jets. So is it fake or not? Because I hear a lot of you guys in your bedroom saying that it's fake, but he's there, he's doing it. Fake or not, he's doing it. Rental or not, like, can you rent a fucking jet right now and go and bang 50 strippers or some shit, or models? Like, no. So that doesn't bother me. I just think the dude's cool, and I don't care for any of that bullshit, and I don't care about none of his vape company or any of that. Let's send a congratulations to Travis Barker and Kourtney Kardashian. Travis will be the new Kardashian on the next episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. We'll get to meet Travis and his ragtag band of mates, and this should be a great add-on to the show. And we wish them the best of luck. Kanye has also changed his name legally to Ye. So the artist formerly known as Kanye West is now Ye. Kim Kardashian West will keep her name because she wants her children to have a last name. So I think I read that wrong. But Kim will still be West. And Kanye is Ye. Ye. Wasa Ye. Ye. So if you weren't paying attention to Seattle, the police are protesting over their mandate to take the jab. This story comes from Fox News. Seattle police patrol cars were... Wait. Am I supposed to read that? I don't want to read that. I don't care for that shit. Anyway, all the police cars were parked, and they had the "Don't Tread on Me" flags, which is the Gadsden flags. Is that what it is? Because I don't even think I'm saying that right. They hung them all on the windows, and they took pictures. Now, they're not quitting. They're furloughed because they don't want to take the vaccine. So they literally just parked their cars, hung up their flags, and they dipped. And they're just going to take time now to find out what they want to do. They want to go back to the work. Do they want to go back to work? Do they want to quit? I'm not really sure how this pans out for Seattle. Like, it's pretty terrifying to think that Seattle's still having issues with authority. Do you not remember what happened when they gave up City Hall? They started killing people, and they fucking put up a fence and these crazy rules. And now your police officers are fucking running away and basically claiming, y'all shitting on us and we just want to help. I don't know where you fix this. The city has to come together with their police department and really figure out a plan to move forward and have a safe city. Like, you deserve a safe city. I'll read into this part, but I'm not going to, because anytime we read into that fucking mandate shit, they fucking flag it. So what's the point? I'm not going to get into it. They're supposed to be taking some shots and they don't want to. Some officers plan to take time off to decide what they will do long term. They don't seem eager to stay with the SPD. Why would they? They've been abused for the past year and a half. Others explain that they are going to leave SPD by the end of the year as a result. KTTH radio show host Jason Rantz wrote on Twitter, officers took these photos in protest of the mandate. And the pictures, like I said, was that of their cars with the flags. Washington state employees are required to submit proof of vaccines by Monday. Seattle police, maybe I shouldn't have touched that. They're supposed to submit their vaccines by Monday. And, I mean, pretty much, what was the amount? Does anybody know? We don't even know. Most of them just walked away. Again, Seattle's been, it's honestly beyond me. Like, the adults have completely walked away. Like, you say you want freedom, and the first thing you do is put up a fence and say nobody cross the fence, so that's a border. But you guys preach no borders. Then you say you don't want police, and you have people walking around policing. Then you don't want violence, and you murder 2 people. You can't run this shit by yourself. It's better that we just learn how to work with government and maybe get into government to make things better. It doesn't really make any sense to continue to fight the government or the police. Like, it's not going to make shit better. And why is Seattle? It's such a calm, fucking beautiful place. But hey, what do I know? So Zillow, my biggest competitor, but honestly, I'm trying to work for them. So hey, Zillow, if you need a face for the company, unless you guys are like falling apart, then don't call me, because I don't want to be like the Wolf on Wall Street. And then they'd be like, oh shit, Kasabian was involved with Zillow falling apart. Zillow is a giant company, and people think that Zillow makes money by buying houses cheap and selling them expensive. That's not necessarily the case. Zillow makes money off of us realtors because they collect all the information, and they're like a one-stop shop for everybody, and it's so hard to fucking compete with Zillow. Zillow is like Facebook to your website. You have to be one hell of a salesperson to get people off of Facebook to your website. So fighting with Zillow is ridiculous. Zillow's the mall, and you're a boutique store. Honestly, this is what we're dealing with as realtors, which is bullshit because they steal our information and we don't get paid for it. And then we got to go to them and pay them to get fucking leads and ads in our areas because they're flooding our areas more than we even can. Like, you can't afford to flood it out. Now, I know everybody thinks that Zillow makes money from buying houses and then flipping them. That's not the case. And I'm gonna be honest before we get into the story. I've actually had a gripe about investors in housing, and I feel like housing is gonna need to take a huge look at itself, and we need to. Oh man, this is so crazy. As a person that believes in the free market, I hate to say this, but housing has to change, and I think investing in housing is gonna have to take a back seat, or we're gonna have to regulate how investing works. There's a huge gap between the lower class and just middle class and upper class and all these people that have money. And one of the biggest differences is ownership. It's so hard to be a first-time homeowner when you're dealing with Zillows, iBuyers, investors, giant hedge funds that are coming and buying 2,000, 3,000 houses at a time. How? You'll never, like, I get mad all the time. I had an opportunity to purchase a home for $90,000. That home has sold since that $90,000 point. When it was $90K, nobody bought it. Then it sold for $310. Then it sold again for $360, and now it sold again for $400. I'm so upset. When you buy a home, it's like having a piggy bank. You're not spending money. You're just putting money away to get it right back. I don't know how houses keep doing it, and it's a great fucking trick that we've just managed to do. Houses are the only thing that get old and are still worth a shit ton of money. Like, California is a perfect example of, like, digging yourself into the dirt. You go to California, you get a house like this big on a giant lot. God forbid they build you a house that fit on that lot and that was worth $1 million. No, they're going to sell you a $2 million shack that some asshole flipped because they watch a goddamn show with Turk Lamaskamo, what the fuck his name is. And then they sell you this rinky-dink 600 square foot fucking house for $1 million and change, right? It's shit like that that ruins the game. You have investors just ruining the game and keeping people as renters. I don't even know why I was talking about that shitty house in California. I'm sorry. The California market just bothers the fuck out of me. But first-time home buyers have it so difficult to buy houses that they'll never really make leeway in life without buying a home. Do you understand that buying a home gives you so much purchasing power for many other things? It costs more to be poor. That shit is never talked about. It costs more to be poor. You spend more in gas. When you live in a bad neighborhood, you got to pay more in groceries. You'll pay more in gas. You'll pay more in insurance. You'll pay more in power. Usually the apartments have terrible weathering. So your windows are shit. Your insulation is shit. Your AC is shit. You have to live in crime-ridden neighborhoods with people that want a way out, can't figure it out. Nobody wants to invest. And then you wonder why nobody ever fucking makes it out. It's a fucking trap. You spend more money. Bro, when I lived in the hood, I would drive 45 minutes away just to go shopping because it was cheaper. I got more shit. So let's talk about what Zillow's doing, and then we'll talk about the regulation that I think. I mean, honestly, like I said, it's just regulation and investing. People need to be able to buy houses, to have credit, to have buying power, to have some type of nest egg. Owning a home is so powerful. I really think we need to reconsider how we approach this. The story comes from Vice. Zillow pumps the brakes on buying homes after preparing to go on a massive home buying spree. Zillow abruptly reversed course and announced on Monday that it will not sign any new contracts for additional homes for the remainder of the year. The company, a growing persistence among the high-tech house flippers known as iBuyers, said it has surpassed its operational capacity constraints and was grappling with backlog of homes that still need renovation. So they bought a shitload of houses because they were dirt cheap. Nobody was moving. So this is how Zillow works. If you have a house for sale and you're pinched for money, you really need the money fast, Zillow will come in and offer you money, and it'll be about 80% of the value. So if your house is worth $3, they'll offer you $270, maybe $280. Cash right away. Get the fuck out. They'll give you the money and then they'll fix it up and they'll sell it for as much as possible. That's not illegal. Flippers do it all the time. And if you have the cash, you can do it. The problem is a giant company like Zillow goes around and buys 2, 3, 4,000, 5,000 houses. Now you've just literally ruined 5,000 families and opportunity. Like, imagine this. A family gets a home. Now they have credit. The child goes to school. The school says, hey, your kid needs a new computer. You now have credit. You can get a computer for cheap. But no. You're going to live in an apartment. You're going to pay mad rent, have no credit because you can't build it because you're just paying rent. So there's no credit for you. You're burning your money. Now you have to pay cash for something that you can't afford right away. When somebody with good credit and in a better neighborhood with better financial a better financial structure would be able to get whatever they need for their kids on payments, which makes life 10 times more affordable. But somebody in the hood is going to go get a payday loan. And then they're going to run behind on the payday loan and then have to pawn whatever they got for their kid. And it's this vicious circle, bro. It just keeps on happening. So when companies like Zillow do the shit that they do, although I'm not mad at what they do, it does make it harder for a subclass of people that don't deserve to live this way. And it really needs to be reevaluated. Jeremy Waxman, Zillow's chief operating officer, cited that the board, labor, my mouth just doesn't work. Labor and supply constraints, economically and competitively, real estate markets as reasons for the issue. Basically, they bought too much shit, they can't hang, and real estate's a face-to-face game. So although the e-buyers are like this huge thing, what they really have is capital. They're going to need people like me. They're going to need people that are able to talk to people and convey trust. It's hard to trust these giant corporations, and when we hear things like this, we run away. We have not been exempt from this market and capacity issues, and now we are having operational backlog for renovations and closing. So they're still going to finish closing all the houses that they have. They have a shitload on contract. They're going to finish that up. So there won't be a disruption in that manner. But with so many houses stopping, you're going to see a slowdown. And we already have a slowdown. But the market's going to start ticking up. People are going to want to sell properties. But what happens when interest goes up? There's too many properties. And nobody wants to buy because California buyers have stopped buying. What happens? Prices go. I did not think it was going to happen this way. I can honestly say that. I can honestly say that this should have been taken care of a lot better by our economic fucking team. They should have been. They should have seen this shit coming, and they did nothing for it. Prior to the announcement, the company had been engaged in an industry-wide free-for-all, acquiring at any cost, arms race to buy homes, according to the August analysis published by Mike, I'm not saying his last name, a scholar and resident of the University of Colorado Boulder, who studies the iBuy market. Zillow purchased roughly 3,800 homes during the second quarter and expected to double the revenue bought in from its iBuy division in the next period to buy more homes. Zillow borrowed $450 million through a unique August bond deal, then offered a similar $700 million bond deal next month. Holy shit. But the company, which is predominantly an online market for real estate listings, appears to be struggling to adapt in a on-the-ground real estate world. A Zillow spokesperson told Motherboard previously that since it doesn't make an eye-popping amount of... Okay, this was actually said terribly wrong. So the biggest issue that they have selling houses is that they're only making pennies off for each house. Their money comes from selling ads and selling information. Zillow is just like Facebook. Zillow just collects information and then sells information. Zillow is not what they say they are. And hell yeah, they were buying shit up. You have fucking firms over here buying 10, 20, 30, 40 houses, putting them all in a fund, and then having 4 and 5 and 6 people fucking benefit off of that fund. How is anybody supposed to how is anybody supposed to, well, not anybody per se, but like, how are we supposed to see progress when we have companies that have so much power? Like, there needs to be a cap. I don't see any other way. There should be a cap so that people can fucking do what they have to do. And when I say do what they have to do, honestly, ownership is key. Without ownership, you can't do anything. Like that example of a struggling family that has to buy stuff for their kids and doesn't have the credit because they don't own a home. Like, could you imagine living 10, 20 years renting and you never get a house? You never get that credit. So you borrow cars at 30%. You get credit cards at 18%, or you never get a credit card. You're forced to take a payday loan at 300%. You never pay it off. And then you got to, live off of pawn shops and shit. But Zillow keeps raking in the money. Right? It's like I said about the big businesses. As an entrepreneur and as a person that believes in the free market, when does investors get in the way of the bottom of the company, which can, let's be completely honest. Although the money's necessary, the employees are necessary too. So when do we take a loss at the top and at the back end and take care of the employees to keep things moving? I promise you, minimum wage, if we're going to play that game, should be about $30. $30. Yo, Kellogg's, they're on strike. And I was going to talk about this because this is the perfect job for me. Kellogg says that they pay $120 to $150 a year, $150K to bag cereal. And people are on strike because they say they work way too fucking much. They're overworked and underpaid. If I got paid $110 an hour, you wouldn't hear a peep out of me. I would live in Tuscaloosa, wherever the fuck, and quietly bag my goddamn Frosted Flakes with all the homies. Bro, $150 a year in the middle of nowhere. You can live in fucking wherever in a trailer for 3 or 4 years. Stack up your fucking bread, bro. Invest that shit. Turn 150 into $1 million and change, and then leave. And then the next person can come and work there and make that money. That's what doesn't happen. You work at these companies for the rest of your life and never move, never do shit. And you can blame the companies, you can blame the country. I blame the educational system for having people think that you're supposed to just take a job and be taken care of. They don't teach us what to do with our fucking money. If you make $150,000 a year bagging cereal, you are a millionaire. What are you doing? I would take that job in a heartbeat. My asthma is killing me, y'all, and I apologize. I would take that job in a heartbeat. $150,000 a year to bag cereal? How hard could it be to bag cereal? I used to bag a lot worse and get paid a lot less. Let's just be honest. All right. I'll talk about this. I'll write it down. Let me see. I'll write it down for the next one. But at 150, I've always said if I could find a job that paid 120 to 130 a year and I was in the back somewhere where nobody saw me, I would take it. In a heartbeat. Get the fuck out of here. This is so difficult to do. I would love to go bag cereal, but apparently it's hell over there. It really is, and we'll get into it in the next episode. But let that sink in. If you make $150 a year and you live in a town that's fairly affordable, right? The sacrifice would be a 2-year sacrifice. And it's not even a sacrifice. $150 a year, you literally walk out of there with $500,000. Your first year, you can literally take care of all your shit, get your credit right, buy a home wherever you want, and then invest and turn your money into tons of money. Are you crazy? Like that's the lick. And then leave and allow another person to come in and make money and let them leave. And let me tell you about these cereal jobs. Even though the cereal jobs look good, it's the same fucking people in the commercials. And if they're paying $150 a year, they're not living like it. Like KRS, like he's backpacking. And now the final story of the day, this damn China missile. And I know it was a shorter episode today, but we'll get into what happened over the weekend and why I wasn't here. I just didn't want to talk about it, but I was knee deep in shit. So we'll go from there. This is from the BBC News. And if you didn't hear, China tested a rocket that was hypersonic. And that means that we can't see it, predict it, catch it, or none of that. Now, I'm not saying that this is something out of the ordinary because everybody's trying to figure out hypersonic, but the Biden administration isn't paying attention to these types of things. And now China's denying that they even tested anything. So this came from the BBC. China has denied reports that it's tested a nuclear-capable hypersonic missile earlier this year, insisting instead that it was a routine spacecraft check. The initial report in the Financial Times newspaper prompted concern in Washington, where the U.S. intelligence was reportedly caught by surprise. What? How are we caught by surprise? Hypersonic missiles are far much faster and more agile than normal ones, meaning they are more difficult to intercept. It comes with much concern grown around China's nuclear capabilities. The idea that they have a missile that can go all the way and it leaves and goes around the globe and then drops. That's what's happening. We're fucked. But we'll talk about what else is happening. On Monday, Foreign Minister spokes Hao Ling told a media briefing. I'm so sorry if I pronounced that wrong. My best friend growing up was Chinese, and that looks familiar. Briefing that a routine test has been carried out in July to a very different type of reusable spacecraft technology. This is not a missile. This was a spacecraft, he said. This is a great significance for reducing the cost of spacecraft use. So it's supposed to be some fucking magical goddamn missile that just loops around the Earth and comes right back, but it's not the case. If they put a bomb on this thing, it is very, very dangerous. Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about this, and they're getting away with lying and saying that they're making it a spaceship, and it's really not. It's a fucking bomb, and it's moving very quickly, and it's maneuverable. That's terrifying. So, I missed Friday, I missed Saturday, and what happened? Okay, for the past, month and a half, we've been filming for this fucking vlog, right? The first day we start filming, I have a heart attack. Gone. I'm in the hospital. I didn't want to film that shit. Then the second week, something else happened. Then something else happened. Thursday, I'm walking downstairs. Me and Mandy walk downstairs. Yo, the whole downstairs is flooded out. I'm like, what the fuck? The baby sleep on the couch. Thank God he didn't slip, hit his head. Downstairs is hard floors. All fucking wet. Toilets overflowing. Bro, I go into daddy mode. I go get I get everything. I get my snake, my plunger. I'm in that bitch. I got a 25-foot snake paws, and I'm with my drill. I've done this. I'm hands-on. I thank God for that my hands are good, and I'm able to do so much with them, because in a time like that, I was able to remedy it enough to get somebody else out here. So one thing, I need to buy a longer snake, pause, because I was a little short, pause. I know it's stupid as fuck to say pause, but I think it's hilarious. But no, my snake was a bit short, so I need a longer snake. My snake in real life is not short. And it took about 3 days to get somebody out here. When you have a home warranty, you kind of got to wait on these things, and this is how life goes. So Thursday, I fix it ish. Friday, nobody comes. Then the fucking people call and they go, oh, hey, we can make it Monday. And I'm like, bitch, I got shit coming out of this pipe. You need to get over here. Boy comes, fixes it in 2 minutes. So, as mad as I was, I did not want to do the show. I could give a fuck about the world. I hope y'all understand that when your house is flooded with shit up to your ankles, you kind of feel a type of way. You know what I'm saying? Just not a good feeling. And I was in school all week. I've been in school all week. I have school coming up. As a realtor, we have to take classes, and they just upped our classes in October. So, there's more classes that we have to take. And I mean, we're looking at 24 hours a year that we take in classes, and we always continue learning. And I love learning. Don't get me wrong. I'm actually reading a book right now on quantum physics. I think it's fucking awesome. And I think quantum physics is dope. It's different. I like more of the body and biology. I think that's cool too. I mean, all that shit's very riveting. And I just wanted to play video games because I was so fucking mad, yo. I was just so upset, y'all. I can't even lie. You know what else got me irritated too? I think the idea of a family is completely made up. It's all bullshit. It really is. It's all bullshit. Because, in life, especially coming from where I come from, right? Because you could say that I have a family, but in reality, I don't. But in life, right, your family is the people that you grow with and build with, not the motherfuckers that have your blood. Because motherfuckers that have your blood and look at you in your face and lie. And then say, love you. So with that, suck my dick. Mom. Yo, that's crazy, right? It'd be, oh, yo. You see why I don't fuck with them? It got me irritated. Fuck them. Bro, I'm gonna go play video games. Gilbert, if you're home off the fucking PCH or wherever the fuck you are flying in your Lamborghini. I bought Gilbert a Lamborghini because he's my best friend. Let's get on the game, bro. My name's Kasabian Lavoe. Live in the moment, don't live in the past. Be safe, stay dangerous. Lavoe loves you, and if you get in my way, I'll cross your ass off. Wow.